What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all enjoying this day. It has been torrential downpours all day, and then the sun just started shining again. So let's effing go. But I hope you're all having a great day, staying safe out there. But got a little bit of action here for you. Now, we talked last night about would it be the trade show or free agents, and well, today at 4 o'clock is the day. I don't know why I thought it was tomorrow, but today is Monday. For the love of God, 4 o'clock, you can sign free agents, and they do not go against your compensatory pick formula. So you're going to see signings happening today. So we're going to break down the old free agents, and well, I've got 117 of them for you, and we're going to go through each position here, position by position, give you 20 at pretty much each position. Quarterback has 10. I know that the offensive linemen have broke down, so you've got 10 tackles, 10 guards. 7 is where that comes from with the centers. But we've got some names for you here. Going to take a quick gander each time before we look at the offense, special teams, defense. We'll look at what the Eagles have at that position for all of you Eagles fans out there that want to see what we've got going on. You missed any of those shows, but you all know, those of you who have been tuning in, we have so much cap space. We've got future picks. We got so much going on. So there will be a trade show tomorrow. Do not fear. We'll talk about some guys we could acquire. But right now, we're going to talk about some possible free agents. So after we go through all of these, I will give you the top 10 fits for the Philadelphia Eagles in this free agency class. Who's still left? But appreciate each and every one of you taking the time today. But let's jump right into this bad boy. You guys have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Man, Justin, let's go. Excited to see money. This is not a cap show, my man. But if you missed that show or either of the shows from yesterday, go check those out. Explain the rookie cap hits, gave the cap space. And then again, we talked about DeAndre Swift's cap hit and the cap space. If you guys are looking to see how much money we have, go check that out. We've got plenty here. So let's rock and roll. Liz in the building, ready to ride. Let's go. Hope you're all enjoying your day. That sun is finally coming out here. So a great sign, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get this thing started with the offense. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles offense, I feel pretty damn comfortable about it. But there are some areas, where you could add some depth. You could add somebody that could push for a starting spot. So let's take a look at what the Eagles have here real quick. And anyone in green here was added this season. So you'll see the undrafted kids. You'll see the drafted kids. Anyone signed in free agency, all added here. And look, Tyler Steen, I have plugged into right guard, but we'll see who wants to win that job. Maybe you add someone here. A lot of talk about the third wide receiver. So definitely some areas I know people are concerned about. But this offense, to me, love the running backs, love the top receivers, the line, the quarterback, but understand the questions. So now that you've seen that, you can keep that in mind as we go through here. Take a look at all of these free agents here, and we'll start it off with the top 10 quarterbacks here. And, look, the Eagles won't be looking for a quarterback. We obviously got Marcus Mariota. We drafted Tanner McKee. We have Ian Book, all backing up Jalen Hurts. So if anybody else is looking for a quarterback, you've got a couple guys here, some decent ones in Bridgewater. Ryan, you've got some bottom of the barrel guys in Mason Rudolph and Carson Wentz. So if you're looking for somebody, you could definitely add one, but I know the Eagles, they do not need one. Now, at running back, I've got top 20 here, but, as I've said, I feel pretty good about Kenny, Penny. Now, obviously adding DeAndre Swift to the room with Trey Sermon and Boston Scott there. Eagles don't need to look at running back, but hey, maybe you are a fan of another team. You want to see who is out there. Or you just hope that the Eagles add another running back for some reason. Here is a list of those guys. Kareem Hunt out there, Fournette, Ezekiel Elliott, McKinnon. I mean, a lot of talented guys out here still available. Some older guys in Burkhead, Bernard, Ingram, still kicking the tires on those guys. Maybe you add a guy like Tywan Jones because he can help you in the return game. There are some possibilities, but for me, nothing too crazy at the running back room that we need to be looking at. Now, wide receiver, added Olamide Zaccheaus. We've got Quez at 3, but a lot of people question that. We added some young kids in Nana and Hazelwood. We talked about them last night on the undrafted show, but you can see here, these wide receivers. Look, Jarvis Landry, loved him, for the last 10 years here, but getting a little older. For me, if you want to add a veteran, I think, maybe for me, it would be Andre Roberts. I would add somebody that can bring you a kick return ability. out of Carolina. Look, and, maybe a guy like Pringle or Demarcus Robinson. I mean, lower tier guys, not looking anything crazy, but I think if you're going to go high tier here, I'm not going for anyone but a Jarvis Landry because of the fact that he can bring that return capability. And for me, he'd be a great wide receiver 3 on this team, and it would be quite an insane offense. Maybe he takes a veteran minimum just to come try to win himself a Super Bowl. Hey, you never know, but got a couple talented guys on that list there for sure. And then at tight end, one of the things I talk about is tight end too. Jack Stoll, he can block kind of, but don't really have much of a blocking tight end. So you've got some available tight ends here that might be intriguing for the Eagles. Max Williams, Swaim, Brait, Shaheen, Rogers is out there. Let's go, Dick Rudd, Anthony Fersker, Foster Moreau, Mitchell Wilcox. So you've got some guys out there for sure that if you're looking for a tight end, you could definitely find one. So there you see the top 20 there, but now we're going to go back into 10 and we'll talk about the tackles first, then the guards, and then the centers. But here's your offensive linemen here. And the Eagles, bringing in a couple of those undrafted kids. We've got a rookie camp tryout. Tyler Steen played left tackle. So there's hope that he moves to guard, but he can provide you depth at tackle too. So not necessarily something you have to do. And if you are, I would think it would be more toward adding undrafted kids and not any of the guys that are going to cost you anything. But if you want to look for a veteran presence, maybe you go after the Undertaker, Dennis Kelly there, still playing. Holy, I think he's like 33 years old. But you've got, Brandon Shell, Little. I mean, some guys that if you're looking for a veteran presence, you definitely could add them to the room. Now, a guard is more where the Eagles, have a big question mark here. So you've got a guy like Dalton Risner, maybe a Jesse Davis, Gabe Jackson, Roger Saffold. You've got guys that are definitely capable of starting. The question is, how do you feel about these guys? So maybe you see what you have here for the, the first couple months, and maybe then you add someone. But to me, I think, hearing what Stout had to say about, Tyler Steen from my source had me pretty effing excited. So I'm going to see what this kid's got. We've got Driscoll. We've got Jurgens. We've got Sua Opeta. We've got guys that are competing for that right guard spot. So it's not necessarily like we have to, but if you were to want to add any of these guys, there are definitely some available. And then center, well, Kelsey came back. We've got Cam Jurgens. I think I'm pretty fine there. Cameron Tom is back this year too. So, but if you're looking for a center, there are a few available. So you see the 7 guys that are listed there, but that's it for the offense. Let me know who you like from those lists. If you're an Eagles fan, who would you add? Maybe you're a fan of another team. Who do you like on these lists? Let me know your thoughts here. But to me, I think we did so great in the draft. And I think throughout free agency, we added the pieces we need. So there's no dire need. But I think when you watch that trade show tomorrow, you'll see more of where I think the Eagles, if they're going to make a move, what they will do. But, I appreciate that, James. I really do. And look, I'm going to keep grinding until that day happens. But first, they wouldn't let me make money. First, I was like, I know. I wrote YouTube a letter. I'm like, I know that you're not getting my videos out there. Like, what's the deal here? What are you guys upset about? And apparently the music I was using was like copywritten. So I got rid of like 100 some videos, went through, and then they allowed me to make money. And I know that they're still blackballing me because every time I go live, people tell me they don't get notifications. It's fine, but I'll keep grinding as long as I have you guys here with me. I know that we will keep growing here. So appreciate you, James. I really do. And I can't keep growing without you guys. The more you're sharing, retweeting, liking, commenting, doing all that stuff. That's why I say it, man. I know it's annoying and I don't even want to ask for it, but it's like, it really does help me. So cannot thank you enough for the kind words and for the support. Really hope you guys enjoyed that content throughout the draft process. What an amazing draft. Hopefully you caught the video last night. We talked about the undrafted kids. And then tonight, we're going to be talking about the rookie camp tryout, guys. That's right. I will break down everything you ever needed to know about the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's keep this train rolling, but I appreciate each and every one of you. But let's get into the defense and special teams here. And, there's some guys here that I definitely think, you could add to the roster. And I know people feel a certain way about linebackers, safety, and I'll give you my thoughts here in a second. But, let's get special teams out of the way because we did something. We added an undrafted kid in Ty Zentner, and no N in there between the E and the T. That's fine. I'll fix it. But as I told you guys, I threw this depth chart together as fast as I could. So here you go. You've got yourself some competition at punter. That's all I've been asking for. Please, for the love of God. So got that. Maybe you bring in somebody that can help in the return game a little bit. We talked about the fact that Nada had a couple kick returns. Maybe he can push. I don't know. But I like Britton Covey at punt returner. It's not, I think we needed to block more for him. He did well last year. I think people were confused about that. But I think a kick returner is what you need, and Covey can't do that. So maybe they make a move. Maybe they sign one of those people. We shall see. But I left the returners off because we just talked about the running backs and receivers and stuff. But I did want to give you some specialists in case your team needs it. Maybe you think that we need to bring in a veteran to compete with Siposs and old Legatron here. So I think, Andy Lee, Matt Hack, they're decent punters. Andy Lee's been playing for 742 years. You've got a couple long snappers there. And then, of course, if you need a kicker, you've got some good ones out there. Robbie Gould, still effing playing, man. I remember watching him at Penn State. That's crazy. So, yeah, if you need a specialist, there you go. You saw the Eagles depth chart there. I don't really think you need a specialist because I think Zentner can push out Siposs. And I'm really excited for the kid. Really enjoyed what I saw from him. So, excited there, but the defense, I know there's question marks, but I'm going to talk about those question marks as I talk about the free agents, so we'll jump right into it, but appreciate you tuning in, my man, Sean. Hope you're having yourself a great day, my dude. Unspoken. Don't believe how people just steal your, yeah, man. I know, it drives me insane. And look, yeah, and LB, my dude, and, Philly Mike, those guys, they give credit where it's due, and I appreciate those guys. That's why I give them shout outs, but there are those people out there, and when I've talked with those guys, it's like, look, we're going to change the game, man. Like people have been stealing my ideas. No one even knew who I was for years. And people were just making names for themselves, just taking my stuff. And it's like, well, watching this person work for NFL now, watching this, it's like, they literally, I've called out those people for stealing my stuff. But I mean, I know nobody cares, but I don't want to complain, but I hear you, man. I hear you. And now everyone's a cap expert and everyone all of a sudden knows how everything works. Hey, look, man, that's what I set out to do. I wanted them to understand what they're talking about because it was really rough trying to explain to them when they were telling me Hurts couldn't develop. We didn't have cap space all last year, the year before that. Yeah. So thank God this year they finally started listening to my videos. That's my mindset, right? So they're going to continue stealing it. But the more you guys call them out, I cannot thank you enough for tagging me in that stuff. It's always funny. I'll make a show or a post and then all of a sudden they do. Yo, when you guys see it, let them know, dude. Let them know. We see it now, man. And I appreciate you guys. And I try not to complain about it, but it is infuriating that, dude, I would love to make, lots of money for the hard work I do rather than watching other people be able to do it. So, but I'm with Legatron myself, my man. Let's effing ride, dude. I'm excited that we got some competition there. So let's go. But let's talk about this defense. And we added a bunch of really amazing players here. And I told you I broke this thing down that you see 12 starters here because you could take out the nickel Avonte Maddox and, have your base defense or, with that 5-man front, or you could take out someone like the nose tackle Jordan Davis and put in Avonte Maddox as the nickel, and that's your 11 starters. But I wanted to break these positions down so people aren't freaking out because it's always, this guy, and again, I cannot make someone's name be in one spot and then put them in another spot. I'm not going to do that. So you've got your defensive end guys. This is your edge rushers, hand in the dirt. They're coming at you. Sweat, Graham, Barnett, Jackson, Leo, and Robinson. Then you see on the other side, Reddick and Nolan Smith, Patrick Johnson, Kyron Johnson. That's your edge rushers, okay? And then interior-wise, you've got Carter, Tuipulotu, Ojomo. On the other side of them, Cox, Williams, and Street. And then in the middle, your nose tackle, Jordan Davis, with Noah Ellis as his backup. Now, some of these guys are versatile, can play the one technique in certain schemes. Some of these guys can play the 5 technique. I mean, these are a depth chart. I try to break this stuff down as much as I possibly can. Now, one of the things I've broken down is the fact that Nolan Smith, he can play some weak side linebacker too. So expect him to, be battling with Nicholas Morrow, whether or not that be, certain roles they're each getting some, which I think they will. And then, certain roles will both be on the field at the same time. The same goes with Reddick and Smith on the field at the same time, with Smith as the weak side, Reddick on the strong side. I think, so many possibilities. And that's why we were so excited to, be able to add these guys. So excitement there. And, linebackers, Dean and Morrow, but I just mentioned, Smith is going to get work there too. Bradley and Ellis, they both stepped it up last year. Bradley, unfortunately, injured. Ellis moved his way onto the active roster. Davian Taylor was on the practice squad. That's not good, but maybe he could step it up. You brought in Ben Van Sumeren. Maybe the undrafted kid can push one of these guys for a spot, but I'm not like losing my mind over it because I love that Nolan Smith is here. Morrow was brought in, but man, we'll talk about the trade show tomorrow, and you guys have heard me say some names already, but we'll talk about that then. Now, in the secondary, you've got the best trio in the game at corner, and then you brought in Greedy Williams. You drafted Kaylee Ringo. You have Ricks and Garner as your effing undrafted kids. McPherson's still here. And then, the guys that are versatile in Scott, Job, Goodrich, they can play a little nickel, a little bit of safety. That's great to have that versatility. We talked about maybe Garner trying out a little bit of safety. So, versatility, name of the game. And then your safeties, you see Reed Blankenship, Terrell Edmonds, Sidney Brown. I've told you, before the draft, I think if we draft this kid, he could be an eventual starter. And, well, we did draft him, so I do think he can take one of those spots. Not going to put him in over a guy that was starting and a guy that was signed to be one. So we'll see the competition. Then I'll love to add him in there. But I think there's going to be a lot of sets where you see 3 safeties in there. And one of the things, if you guys tune into my show, you heard me talk extensively about Sidney Brown, was the fact that, the dude can play so many effing positions. I saw people arguing today saying Adam Kaplan saying he never played slot corner. One of the things I broke down, months ago was the fact that he played slot corner. He played deep safety, box safety, dime linebacker. Like, do these guys watch football? I'm not sure that they do, but they're experts apparently. But yes, he does. And he's very versatile. And that's why I wanted him. And well, we got him, and there should be excitement to be had because you could have all 3 of those safeties on the field at the same time. And then you saw Kayvon Wallace, Justin Evans, Andre Sasha-Ray, Tristan McCollum is here. So you've got some competition at the safety spot, but I understand some people want to add getting greedy at this point, but, with a front 7, like you have with the secondary, with the corners you have, makes it a lot easier on those safeties, but the safeties have a very important role when it comes to this quarter's defense. I believe we will be playing a lot of. So let's take a gander at these free agents here, ladies and gentlemen. You tell me who you like or where you would add. So started off with the interior D lineman. Now we just drafted one of these guys, and we've got a lot of them. We drafted one last year in Jordan Davis. We got Milton Williams. We brought back Fletch. We got Marlon Tuipulotu coming back from injury. So we talked about this in the offseason. Maybe you add a Hicks, an Ioannidis, Puna Ford. Yeah. I don't think we need to. You've got Ndamukong Suh, obviously. You've got Linval Joseph. I think you will be fine. Now, if something happens, you want to add somebody week 10 like Suh and Joseph again, okay. But for me right now, I'm not too worried about the interior guys, but there are definitely a plethora of them available. Now, edge rushers, we've got lots of them as well, and I feel pretty damn comfortable about what we've got. So I'm not going after the high-end guys, no Leonard Floyd for me or anything, but maybe you want to add some depth there. There are definitely some talented edge rushers here. Some guys that, can play that outside linebacker, some more just defensive end, but Carl Nassib's still out there, Clowney, Quinn, Frank Clark, Steven Means, Trey Flowers. So you've got some talented edge rushers here if you are in the market. So definitely some free agents available. As we've been talking about, wait till after the draft. You will see there are guys still left. Now, at linebacker, this is one of those positions where, we could definitely look. So you've got Miles Jack, Zach Cunningham, Deion Jones, Damian Wilson. I mean, you've got some talented linebackers here, but only a few that I would really feel like, oh yeah, like this is something that, is going to help the roster in some way. So some of these guys, injury history, some of them are veterans that maybe fallen off a little, but maybe a veteran presence is what this room needs. I mean, depends on what you're feeling here, but let me know. I mean, there are definitely some linebackers, more outside linebackers there as well. But you've got, middle linebackers that could be brought in. And, when you look at Morrow, you look at Dean, both more weak side linebackers, in my opinion, but they can both play. And in this defense, just like the safeties, the linebackers both have to be hybrids, kind of be able to do a lot of the same things. Now, you're going to have players with certain strengths that are going to want to do certain things, but this is a changing game, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of people say it has to be 3-4, it has to be 4-3. This is not Madden, ladies and gentlemen. It's a way more complicated than that. And you remember last year I made those videos. I try to break it down into those schemes so you can see, and then I break down within it the unders, the overs, all the things you can do within those schemes. And I'll do that again this year. But pretty complicated, but it's fun to understand it because then you understand why you want these certain players, why we do certain things. So let's keep this train rolling and let's jump into up next. I believe we've got the corner. So going to finish it off with the secondary here. And we have one of the best corner rooms in the game. And we just added 2 very exciting young undrafted kids. So I don't feel that it's necessary, but if you wanted to add some competition, again, this is one of those positions I really feel we are loaded at. So not sure we do, but if you want to see the list, I'm giving you every position. So here's all of the corners. We had talked about PJ Williams, his versatility. That would definitely help a team. But again, we've got plenty of those players right now. So not sure that's where I'm looking, but you've got seriously starting caliber guys out here. So if your team's looking for one, there they are. Now on to safety. Finishing off with the last 20 guys here. And again, I feel that there are versatile guys that can help at safety. We have Sidney Brown, Reed Blankenship, and Terrell Edmonds now. So a decent 3-way dance there, but you got 2 young men you're hoping for. Terrell Edmonds, you're hoping steps it up, a little bit of a struggle last year, but I think a good safety. You've got guys, though, like DeAndre Houston Carson that we've mentioned, that had played under the size. So I think maybe you want to add a depth piece, or maybe you add a starting caliber guy and you're just like, all right, it's going to be Edmonds and Owens as starters and Blankenship and Brown find their roles and hope to take the starting jobs after these 1-year deals. Those things are always possible. You remember that last year when we signed Kaiser White. Nakobe Dean will be stepping in once he's gone. So, Eagles can do that, man. We talked about having all of that cap space yesterday. We can do whatever the hell we want. We can sign whoever we want. We can trade for pretty much anyone we want. So there is room for excitement here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let anyone tell you that the Eagles don't have cap space, that they can't sign anyone or trade at anyone. Just tell them to go watch my videos because I don't know where they get that stuff from. I'll be real with you, but it is what it is. I appreciate you, my man. And look, just doing my best to get out all the news I possibly can. And really glad that you enjoyed all that draft content. I had so many sleepless nights doing that stuff, just creating so many effing graphics for those shows. But it was worth it, man. I love doing that stuff with you guys. Love hearing your opinions on it. And then when we end up drafting like 4 of those guys we talked about now, didn't talk about McKee, did not talk about Tyler Steen there. But Ojomo we did mention on the 3rd day, but I didn't do like a breakdown on him. But everybody else, we broke down why they would be a great fit for the Eagles. We got him. We talked about Swift the day before it happened. So I'm excited, man. I'm glad you were able to catch all that content. Can't thank you enough for taking the time to watch those. But man, what an amazing, amazing weekend that was. What is going on, my man, Dynasty? But look, I think, with our safeties, we're going to be doing a lot more than that. It's not just about covering tight ends. They're going to have a lot deeper roles than even what we had last year. The safeties are very important, and we talk about being hybrids, no free safety, strong safety. So I think that for me, we'll be just fine. But it's going out. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. Hope you're doing well. And I love Steven Means, man. Was sad to see him get hurt there, but hope him the best. Spider likes him some Miles Jack. Cashman was a Madden guy, no doubt. I have no idea. He was on the list of free agents, though. Crazy that Amos, he is not that good, and he definitely had struggles last year. You can basically play matchups. Yeah, man, when you have a front 7 like we do and a secondary like we do with the corners, it makes it much easier. Now you just got to have smart, versatile guys, and we already kind of got that. I like Reed and I like Sidney to, grow into that. You hope that Terrell Edmonds can help them. So we'll see. But my man Anthony in the building. Appreciate you tuning in, dude. Just went through all of the free agents on offense, defense, and special teams. Now I'm going to give you my top 10 fits for the Philadelphia Eagles out of those guys, out of the areas we mentioned. And again, I really don't feel that we have to add anyone, but I'm going to give you 10 names anyway. So I focused on linebacker, safety, guard, tight end, and I even threw in 1 wide receiver for you. So Cunningham, to me, if you're going to bring in a linebacker, give me a veteran guy, a tackling machine, somebody that is going to help these young men. And I think that this would be a perfect fit. And I don't think it would cost you much and just be a veteran presence. But you've got Jonathan Owens, too. I think at safety would be another great pick. You've got tight end Max Williams, tight end 2, and then Dalton Reisner. So all those guys could come in and have a role. Reisner could win that right guard job, but I'm hopeful for Steen, so you don't have to. Max Williams, he could definitely come in and be that blocking tight end too. He can catch a little too. Jonathan Owens, he would definitely push for the starting safety spot, but don't know that we need it. And Cunningham, I think for me, he would be more of your veteran presence that you could have as your middle linebacker, and he would eventually just lose that job. But again, I don't feel that we need to add anyone. Now, on the other side, you see it threw in some more there. So Miles Jack, Quan Alexander's couple more veteran linebackers that could possibly come help out. Miles Jack, man, he's got the athleticism talent, but man, he has his struggles for sure. So not the highest on him. John Johnson still out there, so another safety you could bring in. Jesse Davis, a versatile guard that can play a little tackle as well. So maybe you're looking for some more depth there. Mentioned Landry, and then Foster Moreau, another blocking tight end, just went through a little health scare there, but he's good to go back in action, and he's pretty damn good at blocking. So that's what I'm looking for in a tight end. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the free agency show. It's all I've got for you this afternoon. But tonight, I will be back, and we're going to be breaking down all of those rookie mini camp tryout guys. There are like 5 of them right now. So last night, we talked about the 8 undrafted free agents. Go check that video out. If you missed it, broke all those guys down, looked at the updated depth chart that you just saw here, talked about all that stuff. The cap space was done yesterday, the rookie cap hits, DeAndre Swift's cap hits. So if you've missed any of that stuff, go check those videos out. Leave your thoughts down below. Love to hear what you guys have on your mind. But look, let's go, baby. Let's go. We've got ourselves cap space. We've got draft picks in the future. Dude, we can do whatever the hell we want. And that trade show tomorrow, I hope you're looking forward to it because it's going to be a fun one. If I didn't have to do the rookie minicamp, guys, I would try to say I could do it tonight, but not so sure I'm going to have the time to do that. But truly appreciate you and everyone else that tuned in. Cannot thank you all enough. You guys are truly amazing. But look, man, appreciate you guys hitting that like button. And yo, my man Drew, always coming in right before we leave. But cannot thank you enough for tuning in, my man Drew. And if you rewatch this, love to hear your thoughts on these things. And yo, let's go. 17 likes, baby. Let's ride. So if you guys got anything from this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe to the channel down below. All the comments, the retweeting, sharing. I cannot thank you enough for doing all of that, especially through this draft process. You always see the media that no one ever saw any of this coming, and you guys are always tagging me. I love you all for it because look, they're going to have to learn one of these days that, well, I'm here, and you can pretend all you want, but I ain't going anywhere. But I appreciate you, dude. And if you rewatch that one, let me know what you think. But I'll be back later tonight, and we're breaking down the rookie minicamp tryout, guys. Some intriguing prospects that we are going to talk about. So I hope to see you then. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you and the family are doing well. You and the new baby. Everyone else, Justin, Unspoken, Anthony, all of you that tuned in here. I can't remember my own name at the time. Dynasty was in here. Spider, William, James, big shout out to you. Thank you for the kind words to start it off. My man Sean was in here, and Liz. Justin, thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see you all later tonight. Hope you're all having a great start to your week. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Feel free to let me know who your top free agent is down below in the comments. But you all stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!